Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of SlickTopia. This is the series where we're playing Tango Tech's TekTopia mod with a few other mods thrown in for fun. I'm Slick, and in the last episode we made this gorgeous little restaurant. DJ Jones has been performing here every night. Seems to make all our villagers pretty happy, and yeah, I'm glad we finally got this done. It was needed. So one of the things that I did learn after last episode, I had mentioned maybe the villagers won't pathfind here if there's not a chair available. Yeah, that doesn't happen. They will cram in here and it becomes standing room only, and they do hit some overcrowding penalties, but you know what? I think it's all right. The overcrowding penalty lowers their happiness, and they're in a bar, so you know they gain happiness back pretty quickly. So the first thing we need to do for today's episode, we need to actually get some of these green shirts taken care of. So I've gone through what we need, and I've selected 2 lumberjacks, a rancher, and 1 more farmer, simply because we've got Paige Hayward, you know, and with a name like Hay, she needs to be a farmer. So I'm gonna go around and find everybody and jobify them, and then we'll get started on progress for today. Paige Hayward, you're a farmer. Psst. Rolanda Soper, you're a lumberjack. Get to work. Zandrila Soberton, you're also a lumberjack. And we've got 1 more floating around somewhere. Those 3 were all just bam, 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 right together. Aha, I saw it. Yeah, I saw him. All right, Daveril Revenmar, you're a rancher. Nice hat, buddy. Get to work. All right, so first thing we need to do to start off the day is we need to make some more babies. Now that we've got those guys jobified, we'll get 4 more going, and then we're running low on beds. I think we're gonna need to get apartments done in between this episode and next episode. So let's crank out these babies. Jalen Wintermere, Tammin Merrill, Bray Farengray, and Marcus Netheridge. Oh, you look so sad, Jalen. All right, Bray Farengray. Oh, we gave you the wrong name. Your name is actually Surface Healer. That's right. Go to school. Learn everything you can, because when you grow up, you're gonna be a cleric. That's right. We'll see you when you get older. Have fun at school. All right, so for today's episode, I'm sure you figured it out from the thumbnail by now, but I've got some big plans for today. I've been working very hard in between episodes to make arrangements, and this doohickey right here, this wonderful reactor, it's not putting out nearly enough energy for what we need, and neither is this solar deal. So what I'm thinking we need to do today is we need to build a nuclear power plant, and I think we need to build it right over here. The cool thing about this nuclear power plant is that since it is not part of TekTopia, we don't have to put it in a village. So I'm thinking in this area. Yeah, so we can get some use out of our island outside of the village boundaries, and the energy will still be piped in no problem, and that way it's not taking up any of our precious village space. So the first thing I need to do to make this happen is start terraforming this area, and I'll get that done and bring you back at the start of construction. All right, so I've gotten quite a bit of terraforming done, and I also went ahead and took down the old reactor that was up there. That's just a big hole in the ceiling now, which one of these days I'll get fixed. Hopefully today, we'll see. So, for those of you that aren't familiar with extreme reactors, basically the premise is that you're building a nuclear reactor. From what I gather, it's built on an old mod called Big Reactors. And essentially what we're doing is forming what's called a multi-block structure. So a multi-block structure means that you've placed multiple blocks down, and once you've placed them in the right configuration, then they will form a solid structure for my kids mostly. Let's see. So I've got this built with a 13 by 13 exterior, or interior rather, so including the outer wall, that's going to be a 15 by 15 structure. So obviously I understand how to build the reactor. I haven't figured out how I'm going to build the outside part, like what we're going to see from from over there, but we'll get to that when we get done with this part. So it's gonna be 15 by 15, and I'm pretty sure I've got it 10 tall on the interior, so that means I need to make it 12 tall. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then that's the exterior.
Psst, down here.
All right, so that's our outer frame. So let's get these corners filled in. Yeah, and you can see where I've clicked on it. It says not enough control rods. Reactor requires at least 1. Yeah, we know. We'll get there. There's that. And last one. So then the outer frame, like the outer walls, there's a few blocks that can be built from. You can build them out of the same reactor casing, or you can use reactor glass, which I prefer to use the glass, just because it's cool to see the inside. So we need to figure out where we're gonna put the other pieces that go in the front. So we've got these other parts here. This is the power tap, so this is where you're gonna pull the power out of it to go into the system over there. This is the access port, so I've got 2 of these. One is for fuel going in, one is for waste coming out, and then your reactor controller is the main brain. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So that should go there. 3, 6, 3, 6. Yep. All right. So then I think I'm gonna put the fuel on this side, and we'll put the power tap on this side, and then we'll put glass in between and on top. And then let's go get in bed real fast. All right. So now that we've gotten that established, let's go ahead and build up 1 level of the glass. And then we've got to get our fuel rods placed out. So the outer 3 blocks are going to be for coolant. So I believe I've got it configured like this. Yeah, that looks right. 2, 3, not you. 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. All right, so there's a ton of different configurations you can use, but essentially, and by no means am I an expert, but essentially the layout of these fuel rods in relation to the edge of the reactor and also the coolant that's in between determines how effective your reactor is going to be. So I'm just going to bring these fuel rods all the way up. Come on. And we should have exactly enough. Yeah, that should be 10 levels. Yep, so we're 1 block shy. That's perfect. Yeah. All right, so there's our fuel rods. And now these are control rods. So these are the top of all these. So let's get those put in place. There we go. And now in between these, we need to go ahead and just cover the, actually no. No. Need to put coolant in there first. That's critical. All right, so there's a lot of different options for coolant. You can use diamond blocks, you can use graphite blocks, or different kinds of liquids. You could use, I'm sure you could use water, but it wouldn't be very efficient. The best coolant available from everything I gather is called vapor of levity, which I currently don't have. I could make it, but it's a big pain in the butt, and I really don't want to go through all that. So what I've got here is liquid ender pearls.
Psst, hey.
Now that we've got that coolant in there, let's just plug all these in, cover everything up. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so now we need to get the walls up, and then we need to get coolant all the way throughout the inside. That's gonna be fun. All right, well, it doesn't look like too much aside from just liquid ender pearls, but there's the reactor. You can tell it's complete when the texture changes. As soon as you place the last block, the texture changes. In fact, I'll show you. So you can see how all of these blocks look different. Everything just kind of looks, I don't know, like a bunch of blocks. But as soon as you add this, the textures change. It links up. You get this fancy little line that dictates the edges. And then you can come over here to the controller. Oh yeah, you can see I've rearranged this because I didn't like it on the sides. I wanted it here. So I've rearranged these. I've got the controller in the center, and as soon as you click on it, it is there. So we can't activate it at the moment because we don't have any fuel. So that's something we're gonna have to take care of right now, actually. So the only way to get Yellorium in this group of mods that I've got is through the void ore miner that we've got somewhere down there. I need that one to keep going to get crystals, to get upgraded ore miners and solar panels, just to get the newer crystals to update that mod. So I'm going to build a second module, a second void ore miner, which of course is going to take a lot of power also. Yep. So I'm going to dig down straight down here and build it right below this. So let me clear out a room and I'll bring you back for the building process. So I've got this room cleared out. This is where our void ore miner controller, our entire void ore miner is gonna go. So we're just below the reactor level. And you can see that I've dug this little hole, and that goes all the way down to bedrock. You can see it way down there. So we need to build the rest of the machine now. So let's climb right on top of it. And I've got this fancy little assembler rod, and I just right click on it. Let's see, do I have all the stuff? Yeah, I do. All right, so yeah, I just right click on it and it will just start placing the blocks. And then you can see down in my chat box now it says assembled true. So let's dig out a little where I can come down here and look at it. So yeah, this is it. All right, so I've gotten our item transfer system set up. So the Yellorium is coming into the system, and we've actually wiped out every bit of what we've got. So fuel status 47.6% full. Yeah, that's all the fuel we've got. So we need this machine down here to operate for a while longer to have enough material to fill this. And then of course I'd like to have some backup. But at the rate that that I anticipate going through the fuel, this should last quite a long time, even at 47.6% full. What's cool, you can't see it because of well, maybe if I come up here. Yeah, you can't see it from the side, but if you look down there, it actually fills up with yellow. You can probably see just that little bar there. Yep, there it is. And then when it's full, it will fill up all the way to the top, so you'll be able to see it poking over the top. So the next step is to come up with a building design to cover the outside of this monstrosity. So that way, you know, we're not just looking at this big honking machine. Oh, teleported right over the side. You know, I want something cool that our villagers can see from a distance. So I think I've got just the thing in mind, and let's roll a time lapse and get this thing built. Tell me what you think about this one. Yeah, let me know if you recognize this structure. I'm pretty pleased with it, especially the way the smoke turned out. Let's take a look inside. I got this nice pretty floor in. There's a lot of open space back in here. There's not really a need for any of it, but let's take a look at our reactor here. So I did go ahead and fire it up. Didn't I? Yeah, it is active. We're generating 63,000 RF per tick, and you can see we are burning through our fuel seemingly faster than we can keep up so far. I just ground up all the Yellorium ore that was over there and put it into this system, so I'll keep my eyes on that. We might have to upgrade our little reactor down there, or our little void ore miner to a higher tier to get more production out of it. Another thing I did, I changed our power setup here. If we look at network selection, we've now got power in and power out. That is definitely the way I prefer to have it set up, because then we've got one storage hub where we can track how much power we've got. So I've currently got these 2 vibrant capacitor banks. I'll probably throw a couple more out here. I'd like to have 100 million RF backed up. That'd be nice. That'll keep us running for quite some time. But currently we've got 50 million here. Plus I believe this thing holds 10 million. If I'm counting those zeros right. So that's 60, plus I've got probably another 20 or 30. I forget how many over there, but I've got plenty over there too. So now this is the power in flux point. Enable limit false. So yeah, I might have to upgrade that at some point, but we'll keep our eyes on it for now. So the last project we've got for the day, we got to get some more villagers jobified. Where's my tradesman? There he is. All right, so I think it's time to get a couple new guards. We've got a cleric already lined up. And we'll get another rancher. Still got quite a few emeralds here. There's our cleric token. All right, so now let's get these green shirts jobified. Jalen Wintermere, you're a guard. Tammin Merrill, you're a guard. Marcus Netheridge, you're a rancher. And Surface Healer, as requested, you are a lady cleric. Welcome to the village. Alright, after doing a brief count of all the beds we've got upstairs, we've got 9 beds available. Plus, I think we've got 4 or 5 more available over in the barracks. So, let's get some more kids coming out. Soraya Shalabim. Charles Dargan. Mario Zatchet. Randy Vortham. Alright kids, welcome to the village. Alright, now that our kids are all jobified, grown up and jobified, and we got some new babies planted to grow, we've got one more task to take care of. We gotta name this tavern. So based on the comments I saw, and after consulting with my executive team, we've decided to name it Breakwater Pizzeria. Yeah, we got a couple of suggestions there, and Breakwater Bar and Grill, and also Slick's Pizzeria. I thought both of those were good, so we just mashed them together, and we're calling it Breakwater Pizzeria. Yep, pizza and beer go together like beer and pizza, I guess. Yeah, fun times. All right, everybody. First item off of our to-do board checked off. There we go. So now we've got a good idea of things to do in the next few episodes. Unfortunately, though, that is all the time we're going to have for today's episode, so if you liked it, please click the like button, share this with your friends, consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.